Welcome back to the Kino Cave, guys. So, it's been a little while. uh, Full disclosure, yeah, it's been a while because I've been fucking busy and it's been rough, I've been changing shifts a lot in work and that kind of thing. Haven't really had the time or energy to record much. So yeah, it's been a wild couple of months, but hopefully the videos are back. They're definitely back for Halloween season because I would never miss Halloween season. All Hallows Kino is back, guys. So hopefully I'll get 4 videos out within the month, and unlike last year, hopefully I'll get videos out for Christmas too. Today, I'm dipping my toe into a genre of YouTube video which I probably should have gotten into 2 years ago, but today it's a tier list. So I actually quite enjoy the idea of tier lists. Rankings are terrifying because my opinion changes on a dime. So today, it's spooky season, it's All Hallows Kino, it is Halloween time, and so I had to do something horror related, and why not, for the first tier list video, do one of my favorite things about any horror movie. It's monster makeup, and it's A Nightmare on Elm Street. We're ranking the Freddy Krueger makeup. Now, those of you who are uninitiated might be like, isn't it just the same every time? No. No, it is not. It is not the same every time. It wildly fluctuates between movies. If you look at them under a microscope, not even under a microscope, just look at them in contrast to one another. There are maybe 2 or 3 that are similar. Otherwise, they are not the same at all. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with part 1. It's the part 1 Freddy makeup. It was designed after a pizza. It's incredible. I do have a video many moons ago, I think it might have been the first All Hallows Kino that I did, where I talked about the conceptualization and creation of Freddy Krueger's whole deal, including the makeup. So go to that video for more information on that. But yeah, the part 1 makeup is incredible. It looks amazing. So much of it is just so iconic, and it has to get props for being the first. So yes, of course it's in S tier. Getting more in depth now with part 2. I love the part 2 makeup. I think it might actually be my favorite because the name of the designer escapes me now, but his name will be here. He wanted to design Freddy Krueger in part 2 after a male witch. That's why he has a kind of hooked nose, and he's got red eyes. And I think this Freddy just looks scary and gross. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And a lot of it is to do with England's performance as well, just looking horrifying. But the makeup is doing a lot of work here as well. He's got an incredible look in this movie, and I think it's scarier than the part 1 makeup, which is why it kind of just edges above for me. So, yes, this is also in S tier. Moving swiftly on to the part 3 makeup. This is where it starts to get a little bit more vague. The part 3 makeup is very good, modeled a bit more off of the part 1. They've kind of added more detail to it and changed up a couple of things. And I think it's similarly iconic. I think in a lot of ways, part 3 is more iconic than part 1. Because this is where Freddy started to get his reputation as more of a trickster and a prankster, and a lot of people's favorite kills are in this. The injection one with the heroin addict, and the face through the TV, and the puppeteering kill. A lot of the most famous kills are in this one, and so I think in a lot of ways it's more iconic. And I think this look for Freddy became more iconic, and when Freddy got his own TV show, no, I did not misspeak, he got his own TV show. It was largely, I think it was the part 4 actually, but as we'll get to, the part 4 makeup is essentially the same. But this is what most people would think, I reckon. It's probably between this one, part 1, and Freddy vs. Jason when people think of Freddy. So, for that, this makeup is going in A tier. I don't think it's as unique, and maybe the fact that it did set trends, and this is often the image of Freddy that most people associate, maybe that does kind of bring it down a bit, and I just think it's not got that special sauce that I think part 2 has. Moving on to the part 4 Freddy makeup from Dream Master. Had to think there for a sec. There's Dream Warriors, Dream Master, Dream Child, so it gets a bit muddled sometimes. I like the Part 4 makeup. It's modeled after the Part 3 makeup again. It's more or less the same. Like, these are the two most similar looking ones. There's a little bit more detail added. I wish I'd done more research, but these are supposed to be easy to record videos. It's largely the same, though. And the television show, again, yes, he had a television show called Freddy's Nightmares, where he was an MTV host. This makeup is modeled, the TV makeup is modeled after the Part 4 makeup, if I am not mistaken. So, again, this is another one of the more, basic, iconic looks. And so I'll be putting that in B tier, because, it's diminishing returns, right? Part 5, The Dream Child. I didn't think I'd have much to say about this one until I saw it. This is not good, like, at all. It strips away a lot of the detail, even though I don't think it needs, like, a heavy amount of detail, but I think this strips it back way too much. It's just Robert Englund's face, and this is something that happens as they go on. The makeup in the first one is incredible, and he disappears into it and he becomes Freddy. The same happens in Part 2. In Part 3, it gets a little bit lighter. In Part 4, it gets a little bit lighter again. It's very more obviously Robert Englund. In Part 5, that's just Robert Englund's face with a bit of face paint on him. Like, this makeup fucking sucks. And look, I do not want to discredit the artists. Obviously, these films were getting kind of difficult to make because the turnaround was so quick. And full credit to the makeup artist, because it's not easy to do. Like, I'm making jokes, I'm criticizing, but yeah, I mean, it's hard, doing a full face of prosthetic makeup to make a guy look like a pizza. But yeah, this makeup, it looks plastic and weird, and it doesn't look great. So, unfortunately, this one's going to be going in D tier. Next up, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, where they just didn't even try. A lot of people call this the bubblegum makeup because that's what it looks like. Less detail again, more clearly just Robert Englund wearing face paint again. It's not good. Again, looks plasticky, looks like a weird, like, kind of face mask that you put over, or maybe it looks kind of like plastic surgery. Maybe if Freddy got plastic surgery, I think that's the analogy. I've made up the perfect analogy. It's if Freddy got plastic surgery to make him look a little bit less like a freak. And of course, props to the power glove as well, which is in this movie. So it's bad, obviously, and it's technically worse than Part 5. But I kind of like how weird and odd it looks, so I'm actually going to be putting it above for the sake of being unique. This is going in C tier. Now on to New Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. This is a film that kind of gets worse for me as it gets older. It's kind of like Scream light, like Wes Craven wanted to prove that he could do Scream, so he did this. However, I think the Freddy look is really good in this. They make him look more like a demon, because that's the idea, that it's a demon that's taken on the shape of Freddy, because that's what people are into in this universe, Freddy Krueger is all the rage. And he's all the rage here too. You still see him in Halloween shops and stuff going around. So, yeah, I think it's good. I think it's really solid makeup design. It is very much a departure, though, from the classic Freddy, which it was supposed to be. Wes Craven clearly just wanted to reinvent and do something new with this franchise. And I like how it looks a bit more like a demon, and it looks almost like the skin is reforming onto his face, rather than it being, like, peeled away. You can kind of see that in some shots, I feel. So, overall, it's kind of middle of the road. So it's going in B tier. Next up, Freddy vs. Jason. This movie clearly had, like, a bit of a bigger budget and stuff, and even though Robert Englund was getting a bit long in the tooth at this point, I think he pulled off a fantastic performance in this, and I think this makeup design reflects that. I think it's really, really good. Bouncing back, it's easily the best one since Part 3 or 4. And I think they did a really good job. Obviously, budget is a factor. It's a bit of a higher budget. Time, this film was in development hell for ages, so they had tons of time to nail the effects. So I think it's really good. yeah, it's a very solid design. You know, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just putting two classic monsters up against each other. And I think that this is the Freddy that a lot of people probably think of when people say Freddy Krueger, because he was the last one really to be played by Robert Englund. I know he's done it a couple of times since, but not in an actual Freddy movie. And he's apparently done now with that, which breaks my heart a little bit, but also good on you, Robert Englund. You take a rest. Now, I do want to give a quick honorable mention. Oh, did I say which tier it's going in? This one's going in A tier. I'm going to forget to do that a lot when I do these videos. Now, I do want to give an honorable mention to the Demon Freddy makeup from Freddy vs. Jason, because I love it. I love how it looks more like torn and ripped. I love how it looks like a devil man. I think it is so, so cool, and it looks so cool. I didn't really do this for like a few of them. I know there's been like other Freddy makeup designs throughout the movies when he puts on like different looks and stuff. There's one that I don't think I can show, but there's just one of a nude woman wearing a Freddy makeup mask that they didn't put into part 3, but they thought about it, and it's weird. I might be able to show like the top half of it, like just down to about here I can show. But Jesus. I think this Demon Freddy design was so good that I just had to put it on the tier list. So that's also going in A tier. Last but not least, we've got the design from the remake in 2010, played by Jackie Earle Haley, who I think did a good job, but is in the wrong movie. Now, props to them for actually doing makeup. Like, they could have just CGI mutilated his face and it would have looked absolutely horrifying because, well, no, it would have looked horrifying in a bad way. Not the good way. If they tried to do like a CGI face in 2010. So props to them for actually doing makeup, and they did do a little bit of like, you know, they put like the green screen stuff on his face to do a little bit of digital effects, kind of like what they did with Two-Face in The Dark Knight. That's a pretty solid Freddy design, actually, Two-Face in The Dark Knight. Either way, I think this makeup is okay, although I do think Haley's really struggling to move in that. So it's a little bit weird to look at. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's terrible. So I am going to put it in B tier. With all that done, guys, that was my tier list of the Freddy makeup. You can see the tier list here in full. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you have different opinions? Do you think I'm full of shit? That's fine, I probably am. But either way, let me know. What do you think, guys? Happy Halloween, everybody. I've got some videos coming out that I'm super excited for you guys to see. So I'm really looking forward to it. Happy spooky season, guys. Leave a like down below if you liked it. Comment below what you think. Subscribe for more videos like this one. Subscribe for a month of spooky horror content, which I'm so excited about. And have a great and horrifying day.